Welcome to Tuesday with Terry, the podcast for getting your mind, business, and life in shape. Hosted by Terry Blachek, one of the original area developers for Orange Theory Fitness, who helped launch the brand from the very beginning. He'll use his years of experience to help you shape up your mind, build strong relationships with your teams, revamp your business processes, and set down the path towards success in all aspects of your life.
Welcome back. It's great to be here in Austin, Texas, where the sun is hot, the barbecue is fantastic, and all the drinks are free over here. Come on over and visit us. We got a lot of good things. We got a lot of good music. We got a lot of good restaurants, and Orange Theory Fitness is out here too, trying to give you a good workout, make you feel better about your life, make you look better, make you feel better, live the best quality of life. Remember, quality time remaining in your life. I wanted to share some things that happened, as we look back at the last 18 months of COVID. I wanted to share a couple of lessons that I learned, and maybe you could apply them. I think these are lessons I learned in COVID that I'm trying to continue to apply to my business every single day. But first of all, I just want to share with you very quickly what happened during the COVID pandemic. For me personally, is number one is I have a business in 7 different states. 135 total locations. I own 60 of those locations. And on March 17th of 2020, we had to make a decision to shut the business down. Made a telephone call and laid off 700 employees. It was probably one of the worst days of my career, my life, because so many people were depending on the business. They were depending on me, and they were depending on the opportunity to put food on their table, pay their rent, pay their car, pay their mortgage. That was a tough day, very, very tough day. Many of you probably experienced something similar to that, where you had to lay off or furlough some folks. About 45 days later, we reopened a portion of the business, only to close it within a couple of weeks after that again. And the people that we brought back, the employees we brought back, the staff that we brought back got disappointed. Many of them decided to move on and try something new. And then we opened a group of stores back up again. That stayed open, but it was very, very slow in 2020 to get our business back. And it wasn't until actually January 4th of 2021, we actually got the entire part of our company, all the studios back opened, up and running again. But there were a couple lessons, and I'll speak to specifics on it, but there were a couple lessons that I learned during that. 2021 has been a year of getting it back. We're trying to get our membership back. We're trying to get our revenues back. We're trying to get our EBITDA and our profitability back. We're trying to reinstill confidence. Many of you know that the COVID variant has come about, and people get nervous, right? When everybody talks about COVID, people get nervous. But here's a couple of lessons. My wife is from Israel. And in Israel, everybody has to spend 2 years in the military. And I think this is an interesting illustration about what happened to us during COVID. But the reason they spend 2 years in the military is because, Israel is surrounded by, they got water on one side. They've got maybe some not so friendly folks on the other side. But the reality is that when and if they are ever attacked, everybody stops doing what they're doing in their daily jobs, and everybody becomes a soldier to defend the country. And the first lesson I learned in COVID was we all have to become a soldier. We all have to do whatever it takes to get the job done or to survive. And that's really what we were trying to do. Our first mission in COVID was to survive. We wanted to be the last man standing. We wanted to be the last company there in case other businesses closed, in case other fitness centers closed up. We wanted to be the last one standing. And so everybody became a soldier. And what that simply meant is people got reclassified. They started to do things that they had never done before. And we had people that were in construction that were now in turn got involved in purchasing. And we had people that were in marketing that now became involved in logistics or became involved in cleaning. We had people that were coaches and fitness people that now became maintenance and cleaning people. I mean, it was just crazy, the differences. But because people were willing to be a soldier, because they were willing to do what it takes, we were able to survive. Number 2 is the lesson was there's always a way, right? And so many things happened, from a changing of protocols to people canceling in our facilities to absolutely no revenue. We weren't 50% revenue. We weren't 25% revenue like some of the restaurants. We were zero revenue. And so we immediately had to take a look at that, and we had to sit down and regroup and figure out a new path forward. What does it look like when your business isn't bringing in any money? But I will tell you, there is always a way. If you're resourceful enough, if you're creative enough, you can find a way. If you find yourself in a situation where you're coming up against a roadblock, you simply need to talk to more people. You need to be more creative, and you need to be resourceful, and you simply need to try new things to find a way to break through. Number 3 was, we found out that we could really do more with less. We had been doing very well in business. We were surging in our growth. We were surging in our revenues and our EBITDA. And we got a little sloppy, quite frankly. We started to overspend in areas we didn't need. We hired and paid more than maybe what we needed to do. But I can tell you that when we started to streamline the staff and we started to really get down to bare bones, we found out that people became more efficient. We cross-trained many of our team players to do multiple tasks, and we found out that we could actually accomplish more with less. Number 4 is stay in touch. I can't tell you how important it was during the COVID environment, both with the team, with my people, with our sub-franchisees, with our constituents, our investors, our vendors, our landlords, our banking relationships, that we kept in communication and we were able to stay in touch. I can't tell you how important that is, because, when people, in the absence of information, what happens? People make up crap, right? They don't know what's going on. And so they don't think the best things are going on. They're saying, nobody's talking to me. Nobody's telling me what's happening. This must be the worst of the worst. That's why they're not telling me. So you got to keep the communication lines open. Stay in touch. Number 5, leases mean a lot. And, I've been involved in all of our leases that we've signed with our landlords, but I got to tell you, we had to go back and renegotiate with our landlords. We asked for abatements. We asked for deferrals. We asked for rent reductions. We asked for no rents, where we would just pay triple nets. But I'm telling you, leases meant a lot. If you are in default of your leases, and for chance that you got, multiple defaults and you got thrown out of your business, you in fact would have had to close that business. I'm telling you, leases meant a lot. Number 6 is relationships matter. And those are the relationships. It's a little bit like communication, but the relationship really matters, like taking the time to pick up the phone and make the call, whether that's an encouragement call in a tough time. I did that. I called a number of my associates just simply to call and say, hey, this is Terry, and I'm calling to give you an encouragement call. I want to see how things are going over there, how you're getting through this. And I'm telling you that the relationship you have with your vendors, with your landlords, with your investors, with your board, with your banks, all become critical. But that relationship is really important. Even when we tried to slow pay some of our bills, that's when the relationship really paid off. Number 7, you need to be in the trenches. Man, I can't tell you how important it was for the leader to be visible, for the leader to be out there, to be in the studios, talking to people, rolling up your sleeves, getting a workout in. For me, it was good for the people in the field to see me out there. And I'm going to tell you, I needed to be out there kissing babies, pressing flesh, the big politician, but really get in the trenches, get out there with the people. Number 8 is really to put the hat of a wartime general on. And what does that mean? A wartime general is on high alert. Wartime general is looking at all the KPIs and all the indicators of what's happening on the battlefield, and what's happening not only just with the battle, but with the backup, with the communications. What are the contingencies that could happen? How are the soldiers doing? How are the people in the field doing? I'm telling you, a wartime general is you do what's needed when it's needed. And that was a lesson I learned, is how to be a better wartime general. On a personal basis, I got some lessons as well. I thought I would share those with you. But, when everything shut down and I had to go back to the house and work out of the house, the first thing I said is, I can never work out of the house. And that's not going to happen, right? I can't do that. Oh my gosh, I got to get out of the house. But the truth is COVID gave me an opportunity personally to slow down. Gave me an opportunity to reconnect. My family, my wife. Basically got an opportunity to take care of my house, my nest, my personal, my personal area, right? How many people fixed up their houses during COVID? It was amazing. I saw these beautiful landscaping going on all over COVID, but people started taking care of the houses. It allowed me to simplify. And when I say simplify is I don't have to go out on the town on a Friday or Saturday night. All I had to do was buy some pizza dough and pizza mix, and my wife and I sat and made pizza one night. It sounds silly, it sounds goofy, but we were able to simplify. We were able to get on a couple Zoom calls with our friends and have a glass of wine on a Zoom call. It was just different, and it was simple. And yet it was the ability to reconnect with our friends, reconnect with each other, and reconnect with family. We're able to talk again. How many times do you find yourself in the morning, the first thing you do is pick up your phone and you sit down and you're sitting across from your husband, your wife, your significant other, but he's on his phone and you're on your phone, or vice versa. Go to at night and you sit down in front of the TV, you're both on your mobile device, and you're just not talking, right? You're just not talking. We found an opportunity for us to talk again. One of the great things we did was we rented an RV and we went to Yellowstone for a week and just got away. We got off the grid. No TVs, no cell phones. It was fantastic. It gave us a chance to play again. Play board games. We invited friends over. We got back involved in board games. What I'm really talking about is getting connected. Gave us a chance to get connected with each other. Gave me some downtime to get reconnected with myself. It allowed me to reevaluate my life, reevaluate my work, reevaluate my beliefs. It was good. It was good just to slow down and get reconnected. In any case, those are a couple things that happened for me. I hope you found some light, some tips in there, maybe some things that you can do on going forward, or some reminders for yourself as you enter into business, as you enter into your relationships. Think back to yourself. Maybe it would be good exercise for each of you to kind of pull out a blank sheet of paper and take a look. What were the lessons I learned in COVID professionally? And what were the lessons I learned personally? As we get back and things get past the COVID environment, as we begin to move out of COVID, ask yourself, am I getting back and doing some of the things I was doing before? Or am I really taking those lessons that I learned in the last 18 months and still applying those to my life? My name's Terry. I'm your friend. Have a great day.